Imagine walking through the sun-drenched hills of southern Spain, the air heavy with the scent of olives, their silvery leaves glinting in the afternoon light. The roads twist between the groves, leading to a village so small, so unassuming, that you could almost drive past it without noticing. Belmez de la Moraneda. Just over 2,000 residents live here, keeping their white stucco buildings spotless, the streets neat, the town seemingly untouched by time. But among the ordinary calm of this Andalusian village, one house suddenly became the epicenter of a mystery that would shock the country and continue to fascinate the world decades later. It was 1971. Maria Gomez Camara, a quiet, middle-aged woman, was going about her day, cooking peppers in her kitchen on Calle Real. Then, something happened that would turn her life and the village upside down. A strange patch appeared on her concrete kitchen floor. At first, it seemed like a stain, an accident of cooking or moisture, but as she stared, the patch began to form features: eyes, a nose, a mouth, a face, a human face staring back at her. Terrified, Maria smashed the face with a hammer, covering it with fresh cement. Surely that would be the end of it. But just a few days later, the face reappeared. Not just that first one, but soon others followed. Faces of men, women, even skeletal forms of faces that seemed to be starving or screaming silently. Hundreds would eventually appear throughout her house, some overlapping, some solitary, some seeming to watch her every move. Locals began calling it La Casa de las Caras, the House of Faces. Word spread like wildfire. People came from neighboring towns, curious journalists arrived with cameras, and parapsychologists crossed continents to see for themselves. Some claimed to have recorded unexplained sounds or psychophonies, even claimed that spirits of the dead had been buried beneath the house. Indeed, Maria's house was rumored to actually sit atop the remains of a 13th century Muslim cemetery, a detail that added a layer of historical creepiness to the whole story. Yet, not everyone was convinced. Skeptics quickly suggested a simpler explanation: a hoax. Paint, acid, chemicals, methods to fake images on concrete were well known by this point. Some even proposed that Maria had orchestrated the faces deliberately, a clever ruse to attract tourists and profit from the fascination of others. In 2014, Spanish investigative journalist Iker Jimenez revisited the case on a special broadcast that drew nearly 1 million viewers. His team of experts, chemists, engineers, and material specialists, analyzed samples of the faces and declared that, at least in some cases, the images could not have been produced with paint or other conventional means. Still, the debate rages. Are these faces evidence of a paranormal phenomenon, or are they simply the result of human cunning? To understand why so many people believed these faces were real, we need to look beyond the images themselves. Andalusia is a land steeped in tradition, where Catholic faith interweaved with Romani cultural practices. Here, miracles, psychic abilities, and spiritual communication are not considered abstract concepts. They are simply part of daily life. A population raised to see signs and omens, to believe in the possibility of the divine or the supernatural, may well perceive a simple stain on a floor in a very different light than a skeptic would. And perhaps that is part of the power of the faces of Belmez. They offered a narrative, a sense of wonder, a tangible connection to forces beyond the mundane. People wanted to believe in the faces. Some may have even wanted them to be real more than they wanted to understand the truth. Yet, there's still another layer to this story: human motivation. Was Maria Gomez Camara simply exploiting local superstition for profit? Or did she, like many who claim psychic abilities, truly believe in her own power. Cognitive dissonance is a fascinating force. It allows people to hold conflicting truths simultaneously. Perhaps Maria painted the faces herself, but believed she had been inspired by divine or psychic influence. Perhaps the faces were real to her, even as she created them. Ethically, the story becomes more complicated. Tourists and villagers alike came seeking guidance, reassurance, even solutions to personal dilemmas, drawn only by the aura of these mysterious faces. So if the faces were fake, knowingly or not, what does that say about the trust that so many placed in them? Even today, the Faces Interpretation Center in Belmez preserves fragments of this legacy, offering visitors documents, photographs, and accounts of the events that gripped the village. And yet, the allure remains. For half a century, people have traveled here, seeking the strange, the inexplicable, the face that looks back at you from concrete. The town itself also adds to that experience. The Lucero and Sol watchtowers, the cobbled streets, and local traditions like Time Day or Dia del Tomillo, when young people collect thyme from the mountains and burn it in bonfires across town, singing and dancing into the night. It's a village that celebrates both the mundane and the magical, a place where myth and daily life coexist. By 2004, Maria Gomez Camara had passed away, leaving the faces behind as her final enigmatic gift, or perhaps her final elaborate hoax. Over the decades, the faces have faded, their outlines blurring, yet their story continues to captivate. Believers see in them evidence of a reality beyond our own. Skeptics see cautionary lessons about being too gullible, about that human desire to see patterns, to find meaning, and to be awed by the world. The faces of Belmez are more than stains on a floor. They're in many ways a mirror reflecting both the fears and hopes of whoever encountered them. They ask a question that also remains unanswered, even now, decades later. Do we truly want the truth in times of uncertainty? Or do we simply prefer the magic that comes with a mystery? So when you think about the faces of Belmez, consider this. In a small village surrounded by olive trees, in a house that might be built over centuries of the past, what does it mean when we see a face staring back at us? Is it a trick of cement and paint, or is it something beyond understanding? The answer may not matter as much as the effect the faces have on us, the way they draw our curiosity, our wonder, and perhaps our fear. And somewhere in that tension between belief and skepticism, as we all know now, lies the true story of whatever happened at Belmez.